Hello everybody, yesterday we have received some splendid news in the world of Seahawks football and I would love to share it with you guys today. So Dwayne Brown wants another contract, he wants to be extended, he wants to play for more than just this year, which in my opinion is actually something that is really good because, you know, everyone was kind of thinking this was going to be Dwayne Brown's last year or maybe he'd play another year, but it seems like he wants to play into the future more than just this year or the next year. Maybe he wants to play a few more years, and I think that that could be absolutely amazing for the Seattle Seahawks because, like I mentioned when we were talking about the offensive line, we have Gabe Jackson and Damian Lewis for the next 3 years, so that's really good for us. And if we can get Dwayne Brown on a 2 more year contract extension after this year, so then he'd be there for 3 years. We'd have left tackle, right guard, left guard, all locked down for 3 years, being really, really solid. And then we just have to figure out right tackle, which could possibly be someone like a Stone Forsythe after this year because, you know, Pete Carroll, he had some good things to say about Stone Forsythe yesterday. And then center, we just got to figure that out. Could have had Creed Humphrey, but it doesn't matter. We could figure out center, we could figure out right tackle while we have left tackle, right guard, left guard figured out for 3 years. That'd be absolutely amazing for the Seahawks. This wouldn't be without cost though, because of course it is going to be expensive for the Seattle Seahawks to get Dwayne Brown on a longer extension because he is getting paid a lot of money. I believe he's making $11.5 million right now, and he's probably going to be getting at least that, if not more, going into these next few years if he does get an extension. Because say we do sign Dwayne Brown for 2 more years after this year, so he'll have 3 years with us, we'd probably be giving him $11.5 million this year. Maybe we could take it down a little bit to make the money a bit better, but we really don't need the money right now for this year. And then probably at least 11.5, maybe 13 million for the next 2 years each year. I mean, we'd probably have to give him a lot of money. Plus, we're going to have to be paying Jamal Adams. So that's 2 guys who really want the money right now for some reason. Yesterday was a big day for people asking for money on the Seahawks, but I do believe that these are both good things because we want to get Jamal Adams locked up on the long term. That is something that I think every single person can kind of agree that the Seahawks should be doing. And then Dwayne Brown, it would be really nice to have 3 shirt-up spots on the offensive line with left tackle, right guard, left guard, so that we can just focus on center and right tackle, finding replacements for Brandon Shell and Ethan Postich. Maybe even we go into the draft and get some guys, free agency. Like, we could do things in the next 3 years to shore up our offensive line. Then maybe once Dwayne Brown ends up retiring, maybe after those 2 or 3 years that we pay him for, or even later after that, you know, maybe he gets another contract, then we have ample time to be able to find the replacement for him. Gabe Jackson will probably be playing for a long time. We can get him locked down. Damian Lewis is obviously going to be playing for a long time. So really, I am excited for this news. It's not something that's too crazy huge. It's not something that's like, oh, Russell Wilson signing a 10-year Supermax deal with the Seahawks, but Dwayne Brown wanting to play after this year, and Pete Carroll saying that he is probably going to be trying to get him and probably going to be trying to have him play after this year is a really good thing. Pete Carroll in his press conference basically said that they're really working on trying to get this deal done. He said that we are counting on him being with us this fall, so obviously they're probably going to try and get something done. It makes sense to try and do that because the offensive line has been a pretty big struggle for the Seahawks. You want to keep it as good as it possibly can be for the near future because you want to make Russell Wilson happy. You want to be a good team. Offensive line, really important for that. I mentioned this in the Jamal Adams video that came out earlier today, but I want to bring it up in this one too because the same thing applies. We cannot restructure Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson to try and make room for the extension for Dwayne Brown or Jamal Adams. I see on Twitter a lot under these tweets about getting Dwayne Brown on another contract. Pete Carroll wants it. Getting Jamal Adams on another contract. Everything's doing well with that. I see a lot of people talking about, oh, restructure Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. This is what we needed. We needed their restructure so that we can make the money for this. You can't restructure them because that brings in the money for this year while putting money out onto the future. So basically it hurts the future money to help the money currently for this year. And since we're trying to extend Jamal Adams and Dwayne Brown, it would not really make sense to make money for this year and hurt the money in the future. So I see a lot of people saying to restructure Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner on Twitter, and I just want to make sure that I make it very clear that restructuring them would not help in this situation. I think that we'll be fine when it comes to the money because, like I mentioned in the last video, I mean, the COVID stuff's over basically, so they're going to be making money. The stadiums are going to be filled, they're going to be making bank, and then I think next year, they've already said that they're going to up the salary cap by like 20 million. I don't know what the exact number is, but I can only assume it's going to continue to go up little by little after that, but getting another 20 million, we can basically take what we have now contract-wise and just throw Jamal Adams and Dwayne Brown making the money that they're going to be making extra just right on top of that, and still have like $10 million to spare easily. So, I mean, I think we're going to be fine monetarily when it comes to the salary cap after this year. I don't think it's too big of a worry. Of course, we're going to have to pay other people, so them getting a lot more money than they are now is going to be a little bit more of a little struggle for us when it comes to getting other people on salaries. But overall, I think that we'll be fine going into the future. I would love to have Dwayne Brown. I would love to have Jamal Adams for the long term. It'd be really good for the team as a whole. So overall, I mean, we can't restructure Russell Wilson or Bobby Wagner, but still definitely would be good moves, and I think that we'll be completely fine when it comes to the salary cap in the future. This is going to be a short video, but just some simple news. Dwayne Brown wants another contract, probably going to get another contract, and then our offensive line will have 3 really good spots for the next 3 years, and I think that that's exciting. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. Not really too much to go off of here. Probably going to get a 2-year extension, $13-14 million a year, but I'd be willing to pay that to get a really good guy at left tackle, have Gabe Jackson, Damian Lewis, him, the 3 shirt-up guys, fill in the spot that Brandon Shell's currently in, replace Ethan Posich, or maybe he gets really good, who knows, and I think that we'll have a pretty good offensive line for a few years to come, and that'd be really nice for Russell Wilson and the team as a whole. So like I said, let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.